Here we go once again. It's episode 11 of the Markets Podcast. Happy weekend once again. Hope you had a fantastic week. It is, we were just noting before we came on here, 7%, Sean, of 2024 is behind us.
That's wild.
I don't know how I feel about that yet, but
I feel pretty good about it. I really thought that we were this month of January.
It's
What's up with that?
Bye-bye.
I keep on the live show. I keep referencing like, oh, back when we talked about Nvidia, at the beginning of the year, and I'm looking back, it's like, yeah, that was like 4 weeks ago.
Crazy.
This is podcast number 11, and then you had an interesting stat as well, and that you said many podcasts fail before they reach their 20th episode. So we're halfway there, baby.
Yeah, man. No
This
stopping.
is now we're now pushing the envelope. 11th episode.
And make sure everyone, before we get going, hits the subscribe button down below and the like as well. Go back, watch the first ones. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. All kinds of good stuff to get to this week as well. So much happened last week on the inflation front. So much happened last week on the earnings front. We'll get into Tesla. We'll get into Netflix, I'm sure. Tesla, a bit of a disaster right across the board as far as...
We love earnings season.
It's the best. And then, Sean, it is the biggest of the big week coming next week with Apple, Meta, with Amazon, with basically everyone reporting next week. So
give me your favorite day. Come over to the screen right here. Okay. Look, we talked about this before. So on Monday, it's a little small. We have Nucor and SMCI. Not super exciting. These are going to be big ones.
Unreal.
But then it's Tuesday. Look at that. Microsoft, Google, AMD, Pfizer, UPS, and Starbucks. That's my... I like that day. Then Wednesday, we get a little NVO, Nova Nordisk. We'll see if Eli Lilly can follow that as well. We'll figure out about MasterCard. We had a monster move with Visa. We'll talk about that as well, Nova Nordisk. We talked about that. Boeing is right there. And then so what I want to get to is Thursday is Apple, Amazon, Meta.
Yeah.
Are those three tech names more important than Microsoft, Google, or AMD, or are we just splitting hairs? I think Neil had a good point. AMD people are interested in, because AMD's really fallen off the last couple of days, much more so than any of the other names. Obviously, we had Intel today.
How important does that day become, though, Thursday, if Tuesday is a mess?
Yeah, very, because Apple needs to, The thing about Thursday is, in my opinion, so I think Apple might be the safest out of the Mag 7 because their service business now, we know they have huge revenues from that. We talked about the wearables. Yeah. We talked about the iPhone, the cycle. AI, I feel like, may finally be something there for Apple. And then you got Meta. I really think that Meta has a little moat for themselves with Instagram and Reels and all the advertising. So, and then the other name is Amazon. You shopping more on Amazon in the last 7% of this year?
7%.
I feel like Amazon sales, for me anyways, it keeps on going, man.
Yeah.
Just keeps on going and going. And it's like, we actually figured something out. And I got a shout out to Neil on this one as well, because I was talking with his wife. I forget where we were. And she was like, you know what? They don't have a Costco membership, which, where's the fail button? You knew that was happening. But she said, you know what? You can actually, if you know what you're doing, and this is correct, you can get those Amazon subscriptions, which the first subscription will give you like 5%. Then if you have like 5 things on subscription, that'll give you 10%. These numbers are probably not accurate, but then 15 of them gives you...
Gaming Amazon.
Right. And then all of a sudden, you're in the line with Costco. And I think a lot of people probably do that, man. Are there any porch pirates in condos?
And then they just come right to your house anyways. You know what? My building's very safe.
Because they just drop it with the lobby, right?
No. We actually get right to your door.
Oh, wow.
I would say the average age of my neighbors, direct neighbors on the floor of my building is
60 plus,
55, 60 plus.
Yeah.
So everyone's very, very respectable.
You feel safe about that.
It's almost daily. I come home and it's like Amazon, all the way down the hall.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Amazon, baby. Yeah. I think that's going to be a good stock. I love the Mag 7. We're going to get into that. But anyways, what an exciting week coming forward. Let's start the show.
Yeah, exciting week to come. It was an exciting week this week as well. We get the final inflation reading going into the Fed. Remember, Mr. Powell's coming to the microphone near you.
Yeah, what is that? Do you have that up there? It's 100%,
Wednesday.
Right?
Yeah, we're not going to get a raise. We're not going to get anything
boring
as far as the actual interest rates are concerned, but we are going to get comments from Fed Chair Powell. And remember, the last meeting was the one where he actually came out and said, hey, it's time to do stuff. And then we got this on Friday. Friday morning, which indicated, look at this red line. I'll direct your attention here.
We did it.
There's a two-handle, Sean, on
on
core PCE, which is the one that,
Victory.
if everyone's been playing along, is the one that's been sticky. It's the one that's been, insert your favorite inflation term here, lagging behind the rest as we've made this move back down. So 2.9% finally on core PCE. The headline number still 2.5. It's been 2% for the headline number for the past few here, but I mean, we're there, right? Yeah. This is not even a thing anymore.
No, I don't think we even really need to discuss it too much. The thing about it is that the Fed has come out and said they're going to be data dependent, which they're supposed to be. That's the core look that they're looking for. Now you got that two-handle right back into the pocket. I was actually thinking about this, like if you can have a perfect situation right now for the economy, we're pretty much at full employment. Watch what we say here. And then you've got inflation clearly where they want it.
Under control. Yeah.
Under control. The consumers are spending pretty much out of control, which is good. They've always done that in the United States. Earnings seem to be pretty stable. The markets right now at all-time highs. Both markets, the S&P. Worldwide, many markets at all-time highs right now as well, if not 52-week highs for sure, right?
Europe was first. It wasn't even.
Yeah, Japan is there. We've been talking about Japanese equities. And then now you get a little bit of stabilization in the oil markets as well. We talked about XOM finally, well, we didn't talk about it on this show, but XOM maybe finding a bottom there. So what is the Fed looking at? Why are they going to cut rates? Why are they going to do that? Yeah. I feel like we're going to hear from them on the 31st, and then we'll get that answer. People are going to ask questions. Now, Mr. Powell, what exactly are we looking at, and what should we expect come March? Because we looked at that the other day, and it was 50-50.
Yeah.
So let's figure that out. March is going to be very, very key, but earnings are the most important now. The Fed, the job is done. Everything seems to be rosy, and we'll just move forward with it. Look, we saw Airbnb today. They basically went to all-time highs or 52-week highs.
On a fee increase?
On a fee increase.
Like what?
So they're so happy with the bookings that now they're just going to start increasing fees.
Yeah.
And what are we going to do, Brendan? Stop using Airbnb?
It wasn't even like a booking fee. It was like a currency conversion fee.
Right. So I feel like that's like you're visiting Rome, for example, and you want to grab a place. And then you pay them in USD, and then they convert it to euros.
Euro, yeah.
Actually, that can't be what it is.
No, it's one of those fees that's like the Airbnb fee, the you bought here fee, the this fee is just for a fee, and then the fee on top of the fee, and then the currency fee would be the next.
You know what?
Item there.
Now that we're talking about fees, there's not one fee that pisses me off more than the bank ATM fees. Why the hell are you paying a couple dollars to take money out of another bank? I have a
better question.
We've solved this problem.
What are you paying cash for these days that you have to go to an ATM for?
Waste management?
Don't worry about it.
Nah, but I mean, there's always something. I don't know.
Ever since the tap feature on these things.
I know. I can't even
remember the last time.
The wife has it on her watch now.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Apple Pay.
Apple Pay, and Google Pay does that too, probably.
And Garmin has one. It's everything.
I forget. Oh, I know what it was. I know. So. In case my son
got an egg guy.
I'd say, where the hell's your egg guy? You talked about people watching this.
Don't worry about my.
Back in December XXX, we talked about getting me your egg guy. Still don't have an egg guy. You know who I think has your egg guy? Our caterer. I had how many eggs was on that salad today?
I know, but it's been all week long.
I feel like you gave the wrong person your egg guy. No, what I was going to get at it's my son's birthday. He's 12. There's no chance he's watching this podcast, but if he is, I'm screwed right now. No. I went on Facebook Marketplace, and I got him an Apple Watch.
For $50?
No, it was $220 something. But it's the Series SE. It's a good deal. It's $429 on the website.
Not bad.
So I found a guy, was
cash.
Fantastic. We work a little cash back and forth, you know what I'm saying? And that was done. So anyways, I like Facebook Marketplace. Another reason for Meta, I don't know how they're making money off that.
Yeah.
But another reason to...
That's a good point, though. What's that called? The
marketplace.
No. The person-to-person economy or the
peer-to-peer,
peer-to-peer, whatever.
Call it that.
But that's a good reason for cash still. We also got this data point just real quick to get off the economic type stuff. This was
another win, right?
An early look at Q4 GDP. The only notable change is that it's down significantly from Q4, and you kind of led to the fact that why is the Fed going to cut at this point? Now, growth in the economy is not in their mandate. Their mandate is inflation and jobs. Jobs is obviously correlated with growth in the overall economy. Still 3.3% early print on Q4 growth in the US economy is a win, as you said. So again, we bring it back to the same question, why are they going to cut?
Yeah, it's the inflation. Sorry, now we're on GDP, but the inflation is not a problem, and now GDP is not a problem. Where's that soft landing, hard landing, no landing?
I feel like they're still at like 30,000 feet.
Are they in a Boeing, though? Because those doors could come off at any time, and you're going to get.
And then it gets a little rough.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like Intel kind of was like a door today, kind of like
dropping
sent the market to the downside.
We'll get to Intel.
I mean, here's the cues. Look, Brendan just showed you that graphic. The market is what it is. I mean, this is the daily chart on the NASDAQ. It's not even, I mean, we can go over to a weekly chart. I mean, whatever form you want, it's all the same. You know, we bottomed out down there. The Fed talked about basically pivoting, and they were done raising rates. We get a huge move up to the upside. Started last year, get that sort of that whoosh down there in this October, and now it's just straight to the upside. This is a weekly chart of the triple Qs, and as long as we land, we'll be fine, and that's exactly what we're doing. There's no pressures right now. We talked about that. Oil is fine. The Chinese economy is literally falling apart, and the NASDAQ is like, that's a nice story. Like,
so
I thought that would have been more of a thing. You know, so many U.S. products being shipped over to China, technology, and everything like that, yet the NASDAQ is at all-time highs. Now, we've pulled back a couple spots over the last couple of days, and that's to be expected, right? Yeah, I think this is all healthy. I would actually like a pullback down here into the 50-period moving average, $400. I think this would be $20 on 400 is absolutely nothing. So you can get a couple percentage point pullback into there, and I think you buy all the dips, and we wait for Apple, we wait for next week. That GDP, so that came today, right?
Yep.
So if we go over here, 2 minutes chart, just to check out the NASDAQ. So we did have a nice move. Here's the number coming out at 8:30. Boom to the upside, faded back down into pre-market lows, bought right back up. The market kind of finishes on its lows, and we talked about some earnings not coming through. Maybe we'll discuss that, but still pretty healthy. It just goes right back to the area that was bought up. I feel like Monday is going to be a big tell. What happens at these bottoms? Can we open green or red on Monday? And if we open red, I'm using today's bottoms as tops. I'm actually turning a little bearish in this market.
I think people are in wait and see mode and are waiting for Tuesday and Thursday next week, and that's going to be the story, as you said, and whatever comes of that, we'll get this resolution.
Don't you find people panic more than if Apple comes with a bad number?
Yeah.
We could, or you said Tuesday, so we'll go with AMD. I feel like the sell-off is way more dramatic than the move up.
I just want to go back to that higher time frame. What was it, a weekly or daily or whatever you have?
How high do you want to go? Yeah.
Just focus on the leg from that prior bottom. If you go way back,
here.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. 22.
What was that? 2022.
Yeah, so that bottom right there is the new year. So this is January of 23.
So from there to this last,
remember we bottomed right
high.
Here. Yeah.
How long was that? Like 6 months or so?
Oh, I know what you're going to say. We are. This is the longest period since we've made a new 52-week high. Is that what you're getting at?
No. I'm just saying from that last low there
right here
to this last prior high.
Yeah. Down goes the water.
Not that one, but the one before that.
Yeah, right here.
Yep. It's right there. How much time was that? 6 months or so?
No, more. Well, actually, yeah, you're about right. Yeah, that's October bottom.
Yeah.
To July. So
everyone is already, saying, "Oh, the market just goes up. We do nothing but just go up." Well, it hasn't even been that long.
No, and the thing is that we have short memories.
Yeah.
This market can fall again.
For sure.
We've already been here. Like, look where we were. We were right here. This is not that long ago, man. This is November of. Now we feel like it's long ago. We just talked about where the year is going.
2 years, yeah.
So this is 21. This is November of 21, and we epically fell, man, from 404, which is basically where we are right now, all the way back to 266. That's tough.
But the
25% is tough.
The best part about that pullback,
we lived through it.
If you go out to a monthly chart on that and zoom way out on the S&P, it looks
silly.
like nothing.
I know.
Like it's just a sneeze.
But a 25% pullback is a bear market.
Definitely.
We've seen a lot of bear markets, and that's just another one.
Yeah, it's all perspective. Just real quick,
Can't celebrate the bulls without the bear.
Talking about earnings. Yeah. This is actually interesting to me. This was from Reuters, I believe. But if you go out to 2024, S&P 500 earnings expected to pick up significantly.
It is.
So year-over-year change, 23 to 24, they're expecting a double.
Wow.
More than a double.
Well, I mean, that's why the market's where it is.
Earnings growth. But that's a huge number for 2024.
They're not going to make that number. I mean, are they going to make that number? We'll see. The thing is that AI is really changing the game as far as productivity is concerned, which we've seen some companies like Google make those layoffs recently. Many other companies have sort of trimmed some of their staff. You had that story the other day about ATVI and Microsoft.
Yeah.
You know, like I just feel that
they axed the entire division.
Yeah, we can hit those numbers. I just think they're lofty. All-time high expectations, as you just showed, for S&P 500 companies. But that's why you want to dollar cost average and potentially never sell your holdings again.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
But I like that strategy, though. If you're not trading for swing trades.
You know what else I sold? This was before I said I wasn't going to sell anything, but XLF.
Your NFT?
No, XLF.
And now you're kicking yourself.
How's that doing?
Bad.
All-time highs.
Yeah. But Brendan, the thing is, you know what I think you need to sell for if you need the cash? You have a better idea.
It's fine.
But honestly, that's what Neil said. I tweeted something out today. I forgot to bring it up on the show. Do you know how much JP Morgan is outperforming everything else? Here it is right here. It's come at the king and you're going to get burned. Honestly, look at the KREs doing pretty nice. JP Morgan here, right? Last year, 28%, KRE minus 10%. There's a whole bunch of examples here. Shout out to Charlie over here. We can show this. Look at JP Morgan.
Yeah.
34%. Yeah. The next bank, Wells Fargo, 17%. That's not even close.
Leaders lead.
It's not even close. Goldman Sachs minus 17, Morgan Stanley minus 12. Like JP Morgan, man, Jamie Dimon continues to lead. Why are you shrugging?
At that Goldman number. Goldman's an investment bank. There's been absolutely no.
So I only own Goldman, and that's a good point.
Yeah.
The IPOs are back.
Yeah, they're starting.
We had that Seagon. Today's IPO wasn't that good. BTSG.
Some little one.
But that oncology one yesterday was hot fire, and that's to your point. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, they're not getting that underwriting business, and if no deals happen, but Reddit is apparently coming.
We'll see. There was also rumblings of Elon spinning off SpaceX.
Are we ever going to go on Rumble, by the way? Because I heard that Rumble right now is.
I was kicking the tires on that.
Let's do it.
On that studio that they launched.
Yeah, why wouldn't we just go there?
The actual monetization side. So for anyone who's wondering, the Rumble CEO was on some other podcast that gets no views during the weekend, announced that they have this brand new tech that they were launching. I think it was Wednesday was the first day. So they have their version of YouTube Studio that they have now launched. The difference being, and the guy actually named YouTube and said, this is something YouTube doesn't have. We're doing this to take over for YouTube, but good luck with that.
The more they mention YouTube, the better it is for them.
Exactly.
They want the comparison.
They're going to take on Alphabet.
Sure they are, yeah.
Good luck with that. Anyway.
Funding secured?
Yeah, the difference being that from their version of Studio, you can stream to Twitch, to Rumble, to YouTube, to all the different platforms from one place, whereas YouTube is restricted to just YouTube. So,
but how would that work if you use their platform to stream on YouTube? Who would get the YouTube ad revenue from that?
So their revenue model is going to be completely different.
Right, okay.
And that was the second part that they haven't launched yet. It's still, he was saying, a couple weeks out. But companies are going to be able to go on the same studio and put in a live bid for an ad.
Yeah, I know that.
So when our show is on, we can get Coca-Cola coming to their studio. We will get Coca-Cola coming to studio and saying,
Coca-Cola big enough, though.
We want a live ad read by Sean on Trader TV Live right now.
Right. And here's screw the ad up, and then we get minus.
Here's $50,000. Go.
And $1,000. Let's go to Rumble immediately.
We'll get a pop-up then in our studio window.
Please read
and
this.
It'll say, Sean Katina, you have to read this within X amount of time. So no, it's a great idea.
Probably be you the one reading it.
Doubtful.
Not me.
Doubtful.
If they want a bad read, I could help them with that.
Organic read.
You know. All right. So Rumble. And anyways, let's just go over to the Rumble stock quickly because
that was a huge.
This was a great trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a shout out to my guy Patrick. I see him over there live in studio right now. Hey Patrick, how's it going? He actually came back and he's like, he was off on whatever that day was, Wednesday, and we absolutely destroyed one of these Rumble trades, breaking through $4 here and just straight up to the upside. Once trades start to go like this, now I don't know if these are investable. We've talked about this. We actually had a talk that we may not talk about DWAC. Too bad we're doing it now, Brendan.
That lasted 20 minutes.
How far are we in? No. So I was just saying, as a trading vessel, you know, these are hot, right? And I think you want to still look at Rumble hitting that 200 period moving average. Look, no matter how nuts some of these stocks are, look how good these levels work. Here's the 50 period moving average, right? On Rumble, it was supported at $5, then basically again at $5. We make the move all the way down. Look what happens when we break it. We actually gap higher, and then we stop at 7. So Rumble right now trying to figure it all out. And look, is there room for more players in the streaming space? Of course there is. Let's see what their next move is. They have something with Barstool. We'll see about Rumble. I don't think it's an investment, but it's a fun thing to trade.
Oh, Canada, too, for...
Yeah, right down here on King, isn't it?
Richmond, I think. Somewhere down there. Anyway.
1 Street South.
Let's circle back to 1 Street? Oh, of King, right. I was like, of here?
We both live in Toronto. We should know better, but...
Geography.
Shout out to Oshawa.
Let's circle back to Tesla real quick. Here's the problem, if you're wondering, or one of the problems for Tesla. That's gross margins for this quarter. That's, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row.
Yes, well, we knew that was happening. But that gross margin story is wrong this time around because I heard, I was reading something that it was either in line or a slight beat if they take away something about X credits or something like that for the...
bottom line.
But the thing is, for the government subsidies, that's what it was. Because they've actually pulled back on some of that. What is Tesla supposed to do? I wonder if Elon Musk, we've talked about this a couple last podcasts, shrinking of the margins I feel like is done on purpose because they need to compete with BYD. Everyone's talking about this cheaper model. So they actually came out in the last week or so and talked about that Model 2. Building a platform for that.
That was on the earnings call.
Yeah, so that's going to be something that is really, well, yeah, it was the day, no, remember it was the day before and I was like, this is a great catalyst. Too bad there's earnings coming later on.
Maybe it was the morning of even?
I don't know, you're the news guy.
Anyway.
But the idea behind all this is that I think they're moving in the right way.
Yeah.
It's going to cost them a little bit of money to do this. They're lowering margins so they can stay relevant. People will still choose to buy their cars. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if I'm looking to buy a Tesla, do I care more about the stock price or the price of the actual car? So if they're going to get butts in seats, they do that with lower prices. And when I'm looking to buy a F-150 or something like that, that's $100 and something thousand. We have to understand a lot of these other EV companies, they're not there yet with the pricing. The Lucid Air, I mean, these are great cars. You know, the Fisker Ocean, every time I look at that, and you said you saw one on the road, or did
no, not,
was it Rivian? Someone did, and maybe it was Sharif.
I don't think they're out yet. No, I was talking about the Cybertruck. I saw the first Cybertruck.
I know you saw the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
And what was your thinking about that in the wild? Shout out to Adara.
I mean, it's exactly what I thought it was.
Right, it's just a gimmick thing.
Yeah. I was kind of like, eh.
I feel like it's a fanboy car.
Yeah,
and what
totally.
I mean by that is, no, but seriously.
No, it is. It 100%.
It's just like you're buying it because it's cool, and it's the cool thing to do, and you want to buy one of those just because, and that's fine. I think it's a high-quality vehicle.
And the guy was 30?
Right.
Maybe.
Exactly. These crypto kids, man, nothing better to do with their money. Wish I was one of those.
It was very metallic-y looking.
How come I didn't make
Here's
millions of dollars on crypto?
Here's the other side of this argument, because this graphic's very counter to what we were just saying. Because so bottom right corner here, this is revenue versus estimate. So yeah, it was a miss, but quarter over quarter, still a huge beat. So heading in the right direction.
Why does Tesla? Right. Why do we have to always pander to whoever puts these earnings estimates out?
Well, I mean, it's a visual representation of, you know, where they've come from and where everyone thinks they should be going, right? I mean, EPS was a beat, revenue was, for this quarter was a miss, quarter over quarter was a beat still.
It's just that when you're comparing revenue to EPS, EPS is going to be earnings per share, and then revenue, you can have lower revenue and a better EPS.
Of course.
We just talked about the margin example there. To me, it's more about where Tesla's trading, and I'm going to zoom this out to a weekly chart, because I've had a couple friends message me over the last couple days, because everyone's concerned right now, because it's quite frankly breaking many, many key levels. Yeah. And Brendan, right here, this is 2020. This is November. This candle right here is November of 2020. This whole move up, let's not get this twisted. Do you know what happened here? We went into the NASDAQ 100. Yeah. There's big bumps for those reasons as well,
Look
right?
What's happened since.
Right, and then so this is what's happened since. I was talking about thinking this name could get to 280, this top. You know how high we got? We got to there, 263. Then we've fallen out. This is a weekly chart. So it's been basically almost a month and a half of straight downside, and then now, exasperated by this weekly candle on earnings. And now, unfortunately, you're breaking below, and you got to watch out below now. Yeah. I don't think it's investable right now. I'd rather, I want to buy these dips. I think you got to put some money in here, but I wouldn't be surprised. Some people in our chat, man, have been talking about sub 100. I think that would be pretty fun if that happened. I don't know about that.
That's extreme, man.
You know where that could come from? I'm going to say something here. I mean, I say lots of things. But you know what else really affects Tesla stock? Liquidation.
You think he's going to sell more?
I didn't like that talk. He was asked a question, and I think it was by Kathy Wood, wasn't it? Or no, maybe not. She commented on it. When is Tesla going to implement new AI? Right. And then he had that comment, I'm not doing anything unless I have 25%
of the company.
So
wouldn't that mean he has to buy more?
Or, yes, that's what I'm taking the other side.
Right.
What about if he just needs more money to work on X? What about is X making money? Is Twitter making money?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
No one's going to know.
Yeah.
So what about, we just heard today, wasn't there something today about X?
I was just going to mention, there was that note today from Morgan Stanley saying that XAI, which is going to be the AI side of X, wants to raise $9 billion.
Right.
And Morgan Stanley's heading that. Morgan Stanley was one of the heads for Elon buying Twitter in the first place. Right. So they have vested interest in seeing this through and making sure it's successful. So
I just remember when there was all that talk about him taking over X and the $56 billion and all that kind of stuff, he had to put up his shares for that, and he did liquidate some of his position. Yeah. So I'm just worried about potentially more investment into X, meaning he has to liquidate a little bit.
But if all of a sudden, $9 billion, if they raise $9 billion,
is that enough? $9 billion
for XAI? I mean,
Grok? What's it called? Grok over there?
That should float the boat for a little while.
You would think so, but how heavy is that boat? The moat around that boat
made out of
because X right now. I feel like. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to double talk here because I noticed that actually the followers are actually increasing pretty rapidly for me. I don't know how that's happening. 50 to 100 new followers.
He's got the algorithm jacked up to the max.
He's pointing it right at Trader. No, me. He's pointing it right at TraderTV.live, man.
That's good. Keep doing that. There.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's. It's not like a super hot take about Tesla, but I just wonder if there is some selling there. There's some talk maybe of X being in trouble, and when that's the case, he's too prideful. I feel that he will support that company, and it may come on the back of Tesla shareholders.
We'll see. I think he also dropped a little bit of a.
Let me know what you guys think about that in the chat or in the comments below, because I really want to hear if I am smoking that proverbial crack or not.
I think he also dropped a little bit of a warning grenade in that he pointed directly to, and you alluded to this, BYD, and said, it doesn't matter what we do. If the U.S. government doesn't imply some sort of restriction, all EV companies in the U.S. are screwed. And that was kind of a heads up for me during the call. If anybody watched the call, it was hilarious, by the way. But
what was so funny about it?
He was in such a I don't give a
That's what I'm saying, bro.
He was laughing and
Is
joking.
Is that the CEO you want, though? Honestly.
But ask yourself this. Is Tesla even half of what it is today without him?
No, it's I don't want to say it's a zero.
Obviously. Yeah. So
you invest in the man behind it all.
I mean, all successful companies are like that.
But the thing is, you know what else Elon is? Political.
Very.
And this is an election year.
In a very political year. I'm just seeing right now, actually, Elon confirms Tesla will invest $500 million to install a Dojo supercomputer in Buffalo, New York. So dude's got money to pay, or to spend. Don't worry about him.
No comment.
Good old Buffalo.
Why not just put it in Toronto? I don't know. What is that, a data storage? What'd you say?
It's their...
He's building a gigafactory in Buffalo?
No, their brain center for AI.
I know you didn't say gigafactory.
Did you just show that?
What was that?
Let's talk about Netflix.
Show it up. Let's go.
On the other side of the spectrum.
Is this like right in front? So is this in between us, or am I just seeing something?
It'd be cool if this was like floating.
Is this what's actually being showed right now? Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
All right, that works.
Interesting.
So there's Netflix revenue and subscriber growth.
Your one good thing last week was Netflix. No, but seriously,
it's crazy.
Oh, you know what I like for Netflix? TKO.
Haven't seen it.
No. It's a story. WWE.
Oh, yeah.
I think that
was huge.
Yeah, I think that story's huge. $5 billion?
Yeah.
$5 billion into WWE. Yeah. The longest running weekly show is Monday Night Raw. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. Longest running weekly daytime show. I think Saturday Night Live has it for weekdays. Monday Night Raw. And it gets crazy ratings. I feel like we're not the right demographic, but like maybe we are. But when I was growing up, man, I would run home to watch it on TSN at 4 o'clock because I wasn't staying up. It would start at 9, end at 11. You'd get like maybe a little bit later than 11 sometimes. That's too late for me. But not now. Back then, just to let everybody know. Too late for you, though. You 100%. Told me you're in bed like 9 o'clock, maybe.
No chance that's happening.
Yeah. I'm getting up earlier, though, now to ride on the old Peloton.
Boy.
Okay, so anyways, about WWE, I just think the foray into live sports. There's only so many properties you can buy, and they just secured one of them.
Yep.
And let's go.
And it shows you the power of streaming. I mean, Amazon did it with the NFL already. We're seeing Netflix now with WWE.
But just imagine, and it's like WWE also caters to younger audiences.
Yeah.
Right? So the thing is like, Mommy and Daddy, we now need Netflix subscription. Yeah. So there it is, right? The minute kids are on, they're already, fans of WWE, if they're not subscribed to Netflix, they now are. Yeah. That's just the way it is. It doesn't, $20 a month, people will pay that to watch Raw.
Exactly.
So I think it's an absolute monster. Netflix to the moon. I love Netflix. I don't think there's anything stopping this thing. And unfortunately, the biggest mistake Apple ever made, and there is transcripts of this, was that they didn't take over. Apple did not purchase Netflix when it was like a couple $100 million.
Agreed.
And there was talk about that, and Steve Jobs at that time, he didn't believe in that. It was.
And now look what's happening.
Streaming.
Apple was kicking the tires with Formula One earlier.
The thing about it though is that would be
massive.
But there's nothing. Do you have Apple TV?
Yeah.
Or
good.
Apple whatever? Yeah. So would you subscribe? Let me ask you that.
For Formula One?
Let's just say it wasn't on TSN or Sports.
I'm such a diehard that I actually watched the Europe broadcast.
Right.
Instead of the TSN or instead of TSN simulcast Sky Sports now anyways, but ESPN is in the US. They have the broadcast rights in the US.
ESPN,
maybe it was
Fox the Ocho? ESPN Ocho?
I don't know, but I still watch the European broadcast. No.
You don't watch Dodgeball? Watch Dodgeball, man. It's like 20 years old.
Here's my question.
Vince Vaughn?
Maybe I did, actually. You know what? I think I watched it on a plane.
Ben Stiller?
That actually reminds me of...
Yeah, wait. What do you need me to do, bro?
He's doing stuff.
Here, come over here and do it then.
I was going to mention, the one complaint that I have for Netflix at this point is why do we have to watch the best TV shows on HBO, on Paramount Plus, on everything else but Netflix? Yes, they're starting to make blockbuster movies and have all the stars in the movie side of things, but the actual TV shows that are the best are still on other platforms.
Yeah, well, talent. I really feel
I wish they would spend more effort and put more money into
HBO. HBO is good. I really like that. We're watching a show now. It's the other two. It's actually really good. It's on HBO Max.
HBO's great.
But that's the other thing too. You know what hit this industry pretty badly was the writer's strike.
Yes.
Definitely. So right now, this is not one good thing because I haven't watched it yet, but I was going to say True Detective just got started up again, a new season. I watched season 1. I didn't watch the other 2. And apparently 2 were bad.
Terrible.
Right.
No,
but 1 was great.
Bad does not do it justice.
Wasn't that
they were
Matthew
terrible.
McConaughey in the
Yes.
first one? That was great. All right.
It was the best.
And then who's in it now? Do you know?
2 and 3 were not even watchable.
Right. So, anyways, that's back.
Yeah.
So yeah, Netflix
What's it called?
wins.
North
Netflix.
Country or Back Country or something like that? I was going to bring up.
Are you watching that or?
No, I haven't yet.
Right. Where are we in our podcast?
I was going to bring up Intel here. I don't know. Do we want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Dara. I'm going to be at Dara for a minute.
It was a bit of a.
Do you have any intel on Intel?
So semiconductors were weak on Friday.
Yeah.
I have no intel. Ever.
You have no intel on Intel?
Ever.
You have some intel.
Here's why, if you missed it. Happy Saturday, by the way. Hope your coffee is enjoyable this morning.
Cannot wait for my Saturday coffee.
I'm legitimately sitting here thinking about coffee right now.
I could take it. Why don't we just get a coffee?
Should
we? Oh, we can't. Well, these guys can't run and get one.
I'd have to pause. Yeah, whatever. Here's Intel, down huge. I mean, it didn't end the day.
Can you have a coffee at 5
but,
p.m.?
I'm getting to a point where it's a problem, yeah.
Oh, like you can't sleep?
No. Like, I'll have one and it's fine now.
Yeah.
And that always, or never used to be the case. So I'm getting to a point where it's.
Oh, it's like your body's like saying, yes, we can have.
Has had so much caffeine that it's just not even a thing anymore.
It's moot. All right, let's talk about Intel.
That's fine. Yeah, huge volume day as well, which I wanted to point out here.
I didn't even have the
highest volume day, which is similar to Tesla's reaction. If you go to a daily chart, the volume was monstrous. So a lot of people kicking this one to the can, it would appear.
And you know what? They actually had a good quarter.
They did. They beat.
They beat everywhere, right? When those numbers came out last night on the recap show, it was like, okay, here we go. Intel was nice, and then it just kept on going down because of the guide. Yeah. The thing is, man, if you're gonna guide a little bit lower, this is what's going to happen to you. Every stock, we've talked about it. I mean, here's the chart right here. These are priced to perfection, and honestly, I thought it was going to beat, or at least not do this. Whether or not we took out the highs, it was just, we had bounced off the 50 period here. Like we came back into 45 and change a couple times. Both times we bounced off of it really, really strong. I thought that we had a level there that we could trade off of. And unfortunately, now we got to trade off of it to the short side. We got to be shorting 45, 46 bucks. It's down to 43 right now. We had Danielle Shea on yesterday, man, and I asked her as the earnings were coming through, are we buying it ahead of this? And she's like, you got to wait for it to open the next day, which it did. If it opens underneath, that now becomes resistance, not support, and I feel like that is the case. This name, again, Brendan, just back 6 months was 30 bucks. That's not even 6 months. That's October. Yeah. You go back into the summer and we're down here. I mean, what has really changed? I mean, They got that deal in Israel there, a couple billion, right, to build their, was it a foundry over there or some sort of a plant to build more chips. That's going to be their gateway into Europe. I think that's really great, and the gateway into Asia, but
they're still it for PC sales, period.
That's the thing. Where are we going with PC sales anyways? I want to see a chart for that.
I spent 10 minutes at lunchtime today looking for a new laptop because it's getting to a point where I'm going to be.
Right, but I thought AMD had a piece of laptops now as well.
It's still not as big. It's still not as big.
There's that commercial Intel
unless you're going to a MacBook or that side of the world, they are still it for laptop and PC sales. So that's always.
I mean, they know more than we do, and they guided lower.
Yeah.
So they actually sent down, and maybe we'll talk about AMD a little bit, but that's off the top as well with their report coming next week. Their report coming on Tuesday, we've already highlighted that. You fall to that 50 period moving average, you're going to have people that are going to be like, what in the is happening? Intel can go up 10%, and we could all be like, oh, it's obvious. It's AI. Yeah, it's AI. We knew that was happening, this and that. But when we fall down 10%, you're going to hear everybody. I mean, things are going to get kicked to the curb. But that's where I think you go in there and you buy.
Agreed. I mean, Sharif was having a panic attack today. And
what else is new?
I looked over at the.
Did he eat another cake?
I looked over at the chart of the SPY, and it was like negative 0.04, and he was yelling and screaming like the world was ending.
Dude, you came back at 2 o'clock, and you're like, the NASDAQ is leaking down, and Neil goes, leaking down, this thing is tanking. And I'm like, bro, it's down 0.5. We left at 11 o'clock, it was down 0.3.
I know. Volatility has left the building.
Volatility's at the building, and I remember I was sitting there with Obi, and I don't know if Obi's still here, but he was like, oh my God, the market's tanking. I'm like, bro, breathe. Amazon just went down like 40 cents, man. It's a $150 stock right now.
It's fine.
I don't know if it's fine, but the market.
Sean, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, it's fine. Brendan said it's fine.
Hit the
consensus EPS for AMD, 58 cents. I think they'll beat that. I think they'll beat everything. But will the stock react accordingly? We shall wait till Tuesday.
How many times do they say AI in their earnings call? That's what everyone will be counting.
3 times more than they did last time.
And 4 times more than NVIDIA.
NVIDIA is amazing.
I just want to back up. I know we skipped over this, but I want to go back to it because I think it's important. This was inside EV, but Bloomberg picked up on this and kind of ran with it and said 2028 we'll see this or a render. Yeah. So Bloomberg saying 2028 we'll see the.
It looks like a Porsche. That's not a rendering.
No,
that's a Porsche.
Of course it is. Of course.
Yeah, that's the Cayenne or something.
But this was inside EV quoting a quote-unquote source that 2028 is now their timeline for the Apple car. This has been floating around in the background for, what,
Who's
5,
doing it with
6
Apple,
years?
though?
I mean, there was rumblings of was it
Kia?
Hyundai or Kia?
Kia's GM.
Because this actually looks like
Kia, I think, is GM.
Both of their EVs, but whatever. It's just
that's a rendering.
Exactly.
We've never got anything released. What does that do to all the other?
What does that do to Tesla, and what does that do to Apple?
Well,
2028 still.
What it does to Apple, we know about that.
A fair chunk away, but it gives Tesla something to think about. I think going into.
Oh darn it! I closed my. Okay, well, what question? What do you think it does to Tesla?
I said this to Sharif this week, and I think it still stands, whether it's Apple, whether it's Rivian, whether it's Fisker, whether it's someone. At the end of the day, it's not going to just be Tesla. It can't just be every single electric car on the road is a Tesla. If that is the end result, the world is very boring, I think. And we've never seen something on that scale be such a monopoly and such a one.
With the iPhone.
Maybe, well.
What?
Google.
Oh, it's there now, but I mean.
But that's what I'm saying. There's always been another one, like the second option, whether it's 2 or whether it's 3. I would love to see Apple jump into the car game.
I mean, yeah. I think we talked about this before, the wearables, right? I remember I actually did research for that a couple podcasts ago, and I said when they released the watch, stock pumped 20% in a month or whatever it was, and they released the AirPods, same thing. Check out this graphic. This is 20 years of Apple versus Microsoft, and it's just funny right now because we're getting to that. Everyone's now talking about what's happening right here. Look at this market cap of Microsoft.
When did they pass each other?
This is did you understand this is 8.3 billion down here? And this right here is 2.8 trillion.
Nuts.
This is during our investable lifetime. We've had a very, very easy time of investing, Brendan. Apple, 200 at that point, 298 billion to 8 billion.
Right.
Now they're tied. But look at all this. Here's the
iPad.
Yeah, here's the iPad right here. Here's the iPhone. Like this market cap down here when we released the iPhone, 300 billion, 3 trillion now.
That's
cool. Here's Satya Nadella comes in. People saying that he was sort of what sparked up this move here.
Clearly.
It's never been lower. How many CEOs come in and the stock has never been lower during his whole right here.
Hence why they're building a statue of the.
Well, yeah, maybe the statue looks like that as well. Here's Tim Cook steps in. Steve Jobs unfortunately passes away. That stock has never been lower under Tim Cook as well. Yeah. And they just keep on. Here's AirPods, never lower since the release of AirPods. I don't know where the watch is. The watch is up here somewhere. Where is the watch? Anyway, it's not in here. But anyways, I just wanted to show that because to your question is what will that do to Apple? I think new product means bigger, better things.
Never lower.
They'll figure out the margins like we said, but can they make money on it? Are they willing to lose money on a car? No one can make money yet. Rivian's still losing, I think it was $100 and something thousand per vehicle. Is that sustainable?
No, it's not that much.
Isn't it?
No, their trucks aren't 100,000 in the U.S.
I know. They're losing 100,000 every time they produce it.
I've seen a few numbers.
Let me Google that up.
I think the last one I saw was about 35, I think.
I mean, I guess they're getting more efficient, right?
Maybe that was early days, but
we'll see. When does Rivian report? I mean,
coming up, I think.
Is it? Is it next week? Because that's going to be a big one, man. They've broken below.
That's another thing.
Oh,
I actually,
did I tell you?
I bought Rivian this week.
I know, you told me. Sorry about that.
Well, it's fine.
Yeah.
The only reason I did is because they announced that March, whatever it is, March 4th or March 2nd date for the R2.
Yes, yes.
And this is just a trade. I want to see what
Look at
happens.
Rivian here on the daily. You cannot say that that was a bad buy. I'm just joking about that.
No, it's fine.
You're down here to $15.
Yeah.
If you're willing to understand that it probably goes into this area, you have February 21st coming. That'll be the report. You could average in or you could get out, but you're never getting out of anything.
Even if you want, no, I said this is just a trade.
Oh, this one's just a trade. Okay,
This is
just a trade.
Even if you want to risk just that low, a
Yes,
close
that
below
was that
that
Boeing
low.
idea I had. Yeah, I like it.
You know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think it was March 4th, coming up in a month. We'll see.
No, I told you Feb 21st.
No, the R2.
Oh, the R2, yes.
Debut.
But then they'll guide forward on that.
For sure.
So we'll see.
Can they actually make them, though? That's
I'm excited for that day now. February 21st. Mark it down.
Rivian
Aftermarket.
to come.
Aftermarket.
Where do you want to go here? We got a couple of things. True. Alibaba or your friend DWAC. Which would you like?
DWAC.
All right, let's go.
Because of your recommendation.
I mean,
No, the reason
there's
why
not much to say here. Let's be honest.
Well, no. It's had. I mean, when you go from Brendan on the 12th of January being a $17 stock, and then a couple days later you're up to $60, and then you fall back into $30. Oh yeah, and by the way, we've done this many times before, including right on this day when we first came out. This is one of the best days of my life. Not true, but this was like a $100 winner, man. It just kept on going, halting. This is a weekly chart, but just kept on halting all the way up, and then we make it all the way to 160, 170. We come crashing back in, which is what's going to happen now again. Then it gets bought back up, of course, as the election starts to go through. This is 2022. It's not even the election, and then nice move up as we recover from COVID. Then straight back down as everyone says, wait a second, DWAC actually has no value, and they're still a SPAC. They could de-SPAC at any time, and when they do, of course, that value becomes $10.
They won't.
They won't. I don't think so either. And then we also have Donald Trump, President Trump, is back on Instagram and on Twitter. I think he's back on all the platforms right now.
That's the only thing that matters here.
So
the guy's not even using the platform.
We don't even have it in Canada.
Like, what is happening right now? And this thing is...
It's a trading... It's like that Rumble.
Exactly.
I think you want to trade it. You want to watch out for the short float. I'm staying away. But again, as we head towards that November date, I don't even know what day the actual election is, in November, obviously being here in Canada, I still feel like it's something you want to watch.
It seems like a foregone conclusion that he's going to be the nominee. And then it seems like a foregone conclusion, I'll say it, he's most likely going to be the president once again.
Is that what they're saying?
For term number 2. We'll see. The last poll I saw this week, it was, I think it was 48-30.
Those polls are so accurate.
I know. It means absolutely.
I know, but I didn't. 48. Yeah,
Did you know
48-43, I think it was.
I also read this week that
48-43.
I don't think any president, and I'm probably wrong on this, but I think what it said was no president has won back-to-back primaries the way he did this week, right, in the amounts that he won both of them, which
DeSantis was just like, I'm out.
That. Right away.
He's just like, that's it, I'm gone. He's like, I cannot compete. Literally cannot.
They're
compete.
tapping out one by one.
And then, yeah, I mean, the last speech he had was just like, I'm just here to destroy everybody. Yeah. And
even it was Iowa and New Hampshire. Even Obama didn't win back-to-back.
Really?
Iowa and New Hampshire.
Biden wasn't even on the ballot, I don't think, in New Hampshire. It was a write-in ballot, and he still won.
Well, it was the Republican. It was a Republican primary.
Right, so but he's still. Anyways, Biden is the nominee, right? I don't think there's.
At this point,
he's running. There was talk about him. I don't want to say mental state is, but both these guys. This is the oldest ever for the two candidates combined age.
Yeah.
Is there something about that? We're not U.S. citizens, so maybe we shouldn't even talk about it. But we're lucky enough. I don't want to say we're lucky enough to have the prime minister that we do have, but younger age, 50-something, I think, Trudeau.
Don't even get me started on that.
No, I don't. But I just want to say there's been talk about possibly putting an age limit.
Completely agree.
You know, and it's not about these two candidates. It's just in general.
Yeah.
You know, your sort of wits about you. Lower.
All right, we touched on it a little bit to kick things off, but I want to wrap things up with a look at what's to come, because this week is monstrous, as we saw at the beginning there, with literally all of the tech earnings are coming in this week. Tuesday and Thursday are the most important days. And oh yeah, by the way, in the middle of that is the FOMC decision. So we're not going to get a change on interest rates, as we said, but it's going to be very important for the market what Fed Chair Powell says after the fact at 2:30. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, make sure you're with us all day, every day. Here's Microsoft's expected numbers right across the board are just insane. I mean, there's a lot to digest there, but you get the gist. It's going to be, I mean, we can go through AMD, we can go through Google, we can go through Apple as well. I mean, this is kind of interesting, but they're looking for 13%, 19%, 3% growth on productivity and business, intelligent cloud, and more personal computing.
That's off. Is that what's the bottom left?
Xbox constant.
What does that say?
Expectation, though. 13%.
Growth.
Yeah, 13% growth.
Yo, Fabian, where's my guy? Is anyone even talking about Xbox?
They just axed that entire division. I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, so I looked at that. You just had the graphic up if you're listening to it. Okay, Fabian likes Xbox.
I mean, they're still selling.
I just haven't heard a lot about Xbox.
They're still selling the console and games, right?
Oh, I know. It's going to be, I mean, video gaming is hot. Oh, you're not Xbox. You're not an Xbox guy. I love it. But you also love PlayStation. Okay.
What do you say?
I'm not really into the video games anymore, but just to your point, we're not talking about video games. But just another lever they can pull. I mean, they're in everything. We talk about the moat getting bigger and bigger. Azure's strong. They're the winner right now for AI, apparently, because they're going to be putting it all. I mean, these keyboards are going to be pretty cool. You can get to ChatGPT right now. What is it, Windows C or something like that? Whatever you can get there. I feel like OpenAI and Microsoft has been definitely like a perfect marriage. Microsoft invested $10 billion. We talked about the greatest investment of all time, $1.7 trillion in market cap. Obviously not all associated with AI.
Yeah.
But now they have Copilot. And I mean, we use AI here. You know, we build the watch list. We use various.
Everyone does.
I'm using it on Twitter. Everybody's using it. I had that really cool thing. Shout out to my wife that did the $1 million trading floor, $1 billion trading floor, 100 million. You know, and it just they generate it all for you. We had Michael Noss come on, do some real cool graphics. That stuff's all fun and games, but Microsoft is actually, cha-ching, monetizing it.
For sure.
And they're going to see that. We're going to talk about that moving forward. And I just think it's super exciting. The moat continues to get bigger. Needless to say, it's an earnings bonanza. You ever watch that show?
The Bonanza?
Yeah.
No.
Me neither.
It's an earnings 70s.
Yeah, it's really old. I know nothing about
this
it.
Is I was just going to go on to Apple here. This is Apple, but this is going back to Q4. So this is what happened for Apple. Remember, we had a slight downtick on net sales, and it was a down reaction for Apple.
Poor guys, man. $90 billion in a quarter.
I mean, it's
sales.
tough, right? It's
tough. $90 billion in a quarter.
Just digest that for a second.
Operating
income, $27 billion in the quarter.
I just bought more Apple, actually.
In a nutshell, this week is going to be. That's probably
going to be a bonanza.
That buy was actually probably very, very good. I have a feeling it's going to be a monstrous report for Apple. And if they even point to
the earnings cycle, it's if they go ahead, yeah.
No, I was just going to say if they even point to the Vision Pro sales,
we're not even
sales being better than expected so far, and we got that initial number from the pre-order day on going back to a week ago Friday.
How can sales be better?
It was 160, Sean.
I know, but
they said they were going to make 80.
Right. So the sales is, what do you mean? The sales is going to come in
double of what they're making?
No, but they can't. They can't sell more than they make, or can they? Is that what you?
They call up Foxconn. They say,
yeah, they got to get Foxconn
double
going.
time.
Look, I was actually going to go the other way and talk about something a little smaller with SoFi potentially being interesting.
Okay.
No, just because honestly, for you and I to sit here and like try to predict what's going to happen to Apple, you just nailed it, man. We didn't even talk about the Vision Pro. I think that's going to be monstrous. I think what it means for everybody. And we just talked about how key live sports is for Netflix.
Yep.
This is Apple's way as well. Brendan, imagine, and you don't want to probably sit at the finish line for an F1, but like to be able to wear something and get into that car with the driver or be part of the team somehow or walk around, you know, like have somebody walk around Dubai and you be able to, like you're there.
Yeah.
Like these are experiences that no one's ever had before. And the Oculus is great. We love the Oculus is fantastic, but this is next level kind of stuff. I think Apple continues to win. And what I was going to say there about the cycle was the cell phone cycle and upgrades. Like a lot of, I guess, owners of Apple products are waiting for that next shoe to drop with AI.
Yeah.
And the minute that Apple says iPhone, whatever it is, 23 or whatever they're at now, they're at 16, I think, or
16 will be the next.
Yeah, so
release, yeah.
Even if that one doesn't have any AI in it,
It will.
all they have to do is say 17 will. Or they could even say 18 will.
Yeah.
And it's going to get everybody all juiced up, ready to go. And then they may not buy the next phone, but they're definitely buying the one that has everything in it. We talked about our favorite professor over there, Sharif, was buying those Meta glasses because, you know, he has more money than, you know,
all of us combined.
Apparently. Well, when you don't have kids, I look at you for that. That's why I have to be careful what I say here.
Wait, what?
If I didn't have kids, man, I'd have that helipad on top of my house.
Just quickly on Apple as well, because, oh, by the way, February 2nd is also this week coming up, and February 2nd, Vision Pro hits the stores, which is the day.
Stores, wow.
Which is the day after earnings, so.
Okay, how are they hitting the stores?
Strap
if they have so
in.
much demand. They're not hitting stores. They're going into the
store.
store.
They had the first batch already made.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I'm excited, man. I want to talk about SoFi just real quick because we often talk about names that, like we just talked about big cap names. This is a name that a lot of people are interested in. SoFi, we have the student loans. We have a couple different provisions that are going to have to happen for SoFi. But you're under the 50, you're under the 200. And the thing is, this could be a coiled spring. SoFi right here has a short float of 13%. I think that's relatively high. It's been higher. It's just if they come out, we've seen a lot of these financials being huge right now. I think that there is a chance that these guys could get right back up here. Watch out for $10, honestly. I think if SoFi says anything good, this name rockets. This is a big social media name. There's a lot of traders that are in on this, and they keep on buying, right? I forget, Noto is his name, keeps on buying. Yeah. I think SoFi has a good chance to go up. You know, I do own the name, but I'm not selling it if it goes up anyways.
I like it. I like that Apple idea as well. I want to play along. Let's do one good thing.
Okay, my one good thing, I was thinking about this and I was like, you know what, Brendan always comes with like a book and he shows like that he's so much smarter than me and he watches shows and things like that, and all that I say is like, oh, like hockey or, you know, this or that, right? Or last week you actually had food, which was pretty good, wasn't it? You had, or a couple weeks ago.
I can't remember.
Okay, that was good. That was really one good thing.
Fail. Oh no, it was Christmas. It was turkey soup.
That's what it was. Ooh, that was so good. I love turkey soup. What'd you guys wind up doing?
You know what is next level though? Yeah. Smoked bacon or smoked turkey in turkey soup.
It's, you know what, you're talking about bacon, you're talking about turkey. This is not my one good thing, but my kids have recently, because trying to get a little healthier as well, scrapping real bacon. And I can't remember if I've ever had turkey bacon, but my wife cooks for them every single day and every single morning. And she's frying up this turkey bacon. There is no fat, like, and apparently my kids are loving turkey bacon.
I've actually had it a few times. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's
so
legit.
I'm going to try that out, and apparently a lot healthier. So my one good thing, turkey bacon. But you know what else I had? I've been having a couple of conversations lately with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
And he's coming down. He's never been to a Maple Leaf game. Yeah, he's from North Bay.
Okay.
Okay, so that matters.
He gets a pass.
So he's never been to a Leaf game, and I've never sat below in the 100 level for a Leaf game.
Okay.
So we decided that we're going to spend a little bit of coin, and we went out and we bought tickets.
The expensive ones.
Expensive ones.
Attaboy.
March 2nd, we have Scotia Club access.
Nice.
So we're going to have a lot of fun to that. So my one good thing is spending time with family. He's had young kids. We actually didn't get up there for Christmas, so he's coming down. So my one good thing is spending time with family, especially ones that are a little bit distant, and then doing new things.
I love it.
So we're going to have a great time. We're going to be out drinking. We're going to Real Sports before that, and everyone can join us, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
And the best part is during intermission, you'll have the entire section to yourself because everyone gets up and leaves for like the next half of
I'm leaving too. I'm going down to the Scotia Club access. Apparently it's a hype bar. We're going down there. Should be a lot of fun.
For anyone who's not from Toronto, the expensive seats at the Leaf game, is just a place to be seen. It's not necessarily you have to be a fan of said Maple Leafs. You just go.
I feel like I'm going there.
No. I'm not saying.
I feel like you're like I'm spending this money because I want people to see me.
There's been a running joke. There's been a running joke for years that it's like where the suits sit.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
Because you can't. It is. That is. But I'll be.
And none of those quote unquote suits care about the Leaf game. Real quick. On Netflix, The Kitchen. Movie.
Ooh. Oh, it's a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh.
It's a sci-fi movie.
Ooh.
It's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie.
You have a picture of it? No.
But it's, I can grab one.
No, it's okay. Keep going.
I don't even know if we can show one, to be honest.
Because you had the lift last week, which was not Chris Tucker. It was the other guy. Not Chris Rock.
No, the other comedian. Anyways, The Kitchen, it's
the little guy.
It's sci-fi.
Get that part out.
It's kind of weird.
Chris,
but it's very well written. And if you give it a chance, it's actually a good movie.
Relatively new, or is it something that they brought?
No, it's like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called The Kitchen.
What's that guy's name? This is
Kevin Hart.
The guy's literally like
with the
worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's like a Netflix darling. That guy's so many shows on Netflix. Okay, The Kitchen.
Yeah, check it out.
Thanks, Brendo.
Well done, sir. Have a
I didn't get that on camera. Do it again.
fantastic weekend. Enjoy your coffee tomorrow. I'm
at hockey tonight. I'm at hockey tomorrow. I'm at baseball. We have baseball back on again, so I've missed the last couple of weeks.
Obviously inside.
It's indoor training because we coach the Rep High Park team.
Yeah.
So that should be a lot of fun. I'll see everybody on Monday.
Have a great weekend.
Like, subscribe, all that.